Good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're just going to wait here a couple more minutes. Allow folks to join. In the interim, I do have the risk disclosure up, and you can review or remind yourselves of my role here. Okay. We'll get started in another minute or so. Get myself set up here. Morning, Frizu. All right, guys, we're gonna get started. Again, just remind everyone, the market trader, and Ray, the market trader, is here not in any sort of investment advisory capacity. The information I'm about to provide you is general in nature. It's not intended as investment advice, an offer to sell, buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, instrument, or fund. We all understand that future trading does contain a fair amount of risk, and it's not for every investor. And an investor could lose all or more of their investment in capital. And we should only be using risk capital money that we can otherwise afford to lose without jeopardizing our financial security or lifestyle. Okay. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer, buy, sell futures, options, or forex. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so now that we got the risk disclosure out of the way here, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and we'll take a peek at the news. All right, what the news has in store for us today. So we have a fair amount of news coming in that has come in. Okay. We had the unemployment rate come in. We had non-farm payroll come in negative. Okay. And then we have a couple of Fed members speaking later this morning. Okay. U.S. short-term interest rates rise. Okay. So again, so the good thing is that this news is already in. All right. Yes, Frizu. Uh, and we have a couple of members speaking, and the other aspect that's important as well is that we have the option expiration. Okay. So yeah, so before we get started here, guys, on the charts, I encourage everyone, if you're a regular attendee, don't be hesitant in hitting the like button, comment everywhere you see these posts. If you're not already a subscriber, encourage you to subscribe. If any of this information has supported your efforts, I know a number of you get reports have recently passed combines, which I'm so very happy to hear. Okay. And I'd like to think that some of my analysis here has played some small part in making that happen. Okay. So yes, would very much encourage folks to hit the like and subscribe, comment where you can, where you see these posts, and things of that nature. All right. So with that said, let's move on to the charts here. Okay, we'll start with the chart we normally start with, and that's gold. Okay, so we'll go ahead and open the. Well, I'm not sure this is necessarily the most recent, so we're going to go ahead and, as we start every morning, guys, we start with a fresh, kind of canvas, right? Let's make sure that I am my screen here. Okay, it looks like I am. All right, so expand this out here a little bit. All right, so we're going to turn off some of our levels here. We're going to move to a daily chart and then ask ourselves the question, what is the market trying to accomplish? Well, of late, the market, while it's been up, it's been kind of rangy, right? We haven't in some time, um, in the last few days, have not established any sort of new highs in this market. We've been in a range, right? You can see that we have a lot of overlapping price here, right? Lots of overlapping price. Okay, so gold has been a bit range bound, which has, I think what would I'm sure everyone would agree. Um, Trading in ranges, unless the ranges are relatively wide, is a difficult endeavor. Okay, so again, while the market continues to grind higher, we've been in range of late, kind of maybe potentially digesting our most recent move and figuring out, okay, do I have the resources to, in this case, get above 2560, 2565? Okay, is kind of the line in the sand in the gold market, right? And then we have below us, I would say, kind of like 2515. Okay, is kind of the support area that we have established multiple times here. Okay, we'll go ahead and move this. Now we'll go ahead and move on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Okay, we have made a series of higher highs and higher lows, and now we're up against an area where we could we have butted our heads here multiple times, right? We have come up to this level and it's been rejected, come up again, rejected, come up again, it's rejected even further. Now we've come again to the same level, and initially been met with some resistance. Okay, nonetheless, we have a relatively strong 4-hour candle. Again, holding a candle bullish is not an easy endeavor. Okay, so the longer the time frame and the stronger the candle, the more conviction we can expect to see in the move. Okay, 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. This is kind of where we start to do our volume analysis. So this is already kind of drawn in my volume profile. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and extend some of these lines here so it becomes very clear what these levels are in price wise. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this as my value area high. Okay, so this is quite important for me. Okay, the fact that we are getting above, we have price potentially closing above value. All right, that's important to me to understand, because that is an indication that the bulls are very much in control. Okay. Now, this may be a little bit news driven, but nonetheless, the move was to the upside. All right. It did break this value area. All right. So we have these zones. I'm not going to, I tend to like these value areas drawn in as blue. Okay. So this is my value area high. This is my value area low. All right. Okay. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. All right. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and open up my ADR. Okay, came pretty close to this ADR high. We're going to go ahead and open up ASR here. This is probably more for London. It's just marked for New York. Okay. So here we are, our range. We've already hit ASR. We actually hit ASR and ASR high and ASR low in one candle. Okay. So again, another indication that this move was news driven. Okay. Look at the strength. Look at the strength of this candle here. Okay. Lots of orders came into the buy side in this market. Okay. On and in reaction to the news. Okay. So let's go ahead and locate our um, levels here. I'm going to go ahead and open up my spreadsheet here. And add them to the chart. Okay. So here we are. Here are the levels that we're going to be tracking in the market today. We're just going to go ahead and spot check and make sure that I've gotten them accurately reflected here. So first thing I'm going to look at is the ADR high, and that came in at 2562. We have 2559.7 is our average session high. We have value area high at 2549, point of control at 2546. Okay. Settlement at 2543. Value area low coming in at 25. What is that? 25, almost 2540 ish. Okay. I got it at 29.39.6. We had to maybe modify that to, let's see, 29.39.8. So we're within tolerance. And then we have our average. This is not 29.38.10 is our average session. And then we have 23 or 25.31 as our, so the levels are accurate. Okay. So as I was saying, guys, if, price does indeed close above value, okay, here, all right, that this could be an indication that we could potentially see some further upside in this market. Okay. If price closes back inside value, that could be an indication that we could head lower in this market. Okay. So we do have some sellers that have come in and stepped in to this market as a result of the news, and we've had a fair reaction away from this ASR high. Okay. I would say that's probably a little bit premature for us to take any action at this point. I'm going to go ahead and, certainly move to a 15-minute chart and get a feel for the kind of candle I'm about to get. Okay. Right now, it's developing a little bit of a bearish candle, I guess, maybe in somewhat of a response to the overreaction, maybe to some degree on the news event, and that's been kind of met with some selling. Okay. I'm going to see if I do indeed get some sort of 3-bar reversal pattern. Okay. So this is the second in the series of 3. So I'll be waiting for that. And not only that, I'll be looking at the initial balance range, which is relatively wide now. Okay. Again, given the news. So again, this might be a day that we don't make any sort of extension in one direction or the other, right? This might be a sell IB high, buy IB low type of market. Okay. Anytime we have news, it really tests the extremes, right? Because price moves into areas where market participants that can move markets feel like they need to step into the market and get it back under control. Okay. So this 2560 level, I think becomes a little bit more important. If we do get an extension to the upside, okay, I'm not saying we will, but if we do, I don't expect the market to move as far away from this IB extension level because of the fact that we are in a relatively wide initial balance range. Okay. So we have to mute our expectations on how far this market can go. Now, we do understand that we are now in kind of territory we've never been before. Okay, so really we don't have anything in the way to I guess gauge our expectation on where this market can go. All right. We're going to have to use, well, certainly ADRs and ASRs to kind of help us a little bit. And then maybe some extension tools that we use with Fibonacci to kind of arrive at targets. Now, don't really see a whole lot of a pivot here. I do have a anchor VWAP from prior. I'm not exactly sure which direction I should be picking here, but let's go ahead and pick the buy side here. So I'll use this candle as my anchor candle, and as long as price stays above it, right? As long as price stays above it, then I would say that we have to kind of err on the side of the bulls. Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to kind of share in the markets. Again, encourage you guys to hit kind of likes and subscribes here. I'm seeing 20 participants, but I'm only seeing 10 likes. So either I'm not coming across really well, or people are still trying to locate where the like button is on their charts. Oh, joke. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to, don't really have much more to say about this. Don't have much more to say about this market other than say that it appears that it wants to get a little higher here. Go up, move higher. I guess what's causing me a little bit of pause here. Good morning, D. What's causing me a little bit of a pause is the wide extension that we've received here. But it looks like, so far we do have a fair number of buyers. Where's the like? Where the like is? Yes. You like that? Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay. We'll move on to the crude oil market. And see what the crude oil market has to say and offer us today. All right. So let's move on to the daily chart. Okay. We'll move on to the daily chart. Okay. And we're going to head and turn off some of our levels. And all right. So again, I continue to experiment with a variety of indicators, guys. So if you see things I maybe have not shared or used in live, it's because I'm experimenting with how well maybe an indicator provides me some of the information I use. Okay. Hey, White Sand. All right. So looking at this market, guys, again, if I to kind of hide this here, you can see of late, right, the market has been very much controlled by the bears, right? Every attempt to take this market higher has been met with selling. Okay. We have a lot of news where OPEC has done things to see how they can maybe prop this market up, but market continues to go lower here. Okay, so on the daily, again, further context, again, continue to look to find opportunities to sell. Okay, so again, I always like to use structure when I arrive at opportunities and levels where I would like to participate. And one level that's coming right on the right off the bat here is this 72 level. Okay, I know that we're a ways away from it right now, but should price come up to the 72 level, my expectation is that it's going to continue this symmetrical move that is made, right? And this could be an area where we could see an extension lower in price. Okay. All right. What was prior resistant, what was prior support becomes resistant. Okay. We see that here, right? Support broken. Now the expectation is that 72 level could offer us a location where we could participate to the bearish side. Okay. All right. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. For our chart, okay, we've been kind of in range of late. Nothing really too exciting. It seems like it feels like that the market is kind of beginning to feel like it's bottoming out here, okay? And that the bulls are starting to slowly starting to take a little bit of a position here around the 69 level, okay? With the momentum that we've seen to the downside has kind of stalled here a little bit, okay? To the point where I would be willing to maybe draw a little bit of an anchored VWAP here at the lows here. Okay, so I'm just going to pick this candle here. This looks like a little bit of an exhaustive candle here to the downside. Okay, this candle managed to produce nothing more as far as sellers. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing on the 4 hour. It seems that the market is tiring a little bit to the downside and potentially beginning to get some legs to the upside. Okay. All right. Moving on to the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart. Here we are. Okay. We have a developing bearish engulfing candle right at this anchored VWAP that I just drew. Okay. All right. So is this going to hold as bearish as it looks? If so, then that 30 so that could provide us an opportunity for some further downside in this market. Okay, especially if we start to get below the daily VWAP and this settlement price. Okay, these are kind of two things in our way to that would potentially keep the market from moving lower. Right? You can see how well settlement price has offered bounces on this market, right? We've got 1 bounce, 2 bounces, 3 bounces away from settlement price. Okay. All right. Let's see. Double confirm that we have our volume profile mapped out correctly here. This seems a little bit too wide. Let's see. Yeah. Move that over 1. Okay. Let's go ahead and locate our levels. We'll add them to the chart here. All right, here are our levels. We'll kind of double confirm them. We've got our average session range. It's open up a little higher here. So we'll adjust that a bit. Okay, and then we have average session range low here at 68, 61, 61. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and open up ADR here. Okay, that's coming in relatively at the same level, 70, 60 on the high side, and a little bit lower here on the support side, 68.07. Okay, average daily range high. We'll go ahead and extend these lines here. Okay, let's do something along these lines. Yeah, it's kind of what we're looking for here. This is one of the lines that I would draw. We'll get rid of that second line. Okay, so we have average daily range high at this, not average day, value area high. Well, that's way off. As at, make sure I have captured the correct day. Yes. Okay. So value area high coming in at an even 70. Okay. Maybe 70.01. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna make it an even 70, guys. Okay, so it's also kind of a psychological level. All right. We have value area low coming in at 68.90. Wow, I'm way off. What's going on? 68.90 is our value area low. Okay. And then we have our point of control coming in at 69.44. Point of control at 69.44. And then we have our settlement price at 69.15, which that's accurate. Okay. And we've already talked about our value. Actually, let's see, what is this? 70.59 is our ADR high. Okay, and then ADR low, and yeah, so those look okay to me. Okay, so let me go ahead and update this on my spreadsheet. Make sure that's captured correctly. So we'll do that like this, and we'll indicate that our value area high has been updated. We'll indicate that our value area low has been updated. And our point of control has been updated. Okay. And maybe our average session range. Okay. All right. So now that's been updated. So a couple of hypos. Okay. Market's not quite open yet. A couple of hypos. We have price well within value. This could be a day where we just kind of range inside value with no specific direction. So we're going to have to wait for maybe some additional data, additional information. Done for today. Thanks for all your advice this week. I appreciate you. Okay, excellent. I guess you had a good pre-market, Larry. Awesome. All right. We got our likes all the way up. Very nice. They found the like button. Okay. So what are some hypos here? Well, we already have, I think I'm inclined to move this maybe over to this top here. Okay, so we're right at a kind of a decision point. Okay. GC ranging. Okay. All right. So here we are with the open. So I'm going to go ahead and start to track the initial balance range. Okay, so we got a very nice bullish engulfing candle with this candle here. And closed, I guess, slightly below here. Okay, if we do manage to get below this settlement price, I do see that there's a possibility that we could head lower in this market. Okay, again, if you are a what do you call it, an Elliott wave person, okay, then you could maybe see this as more and more of a retracement of the swing, okay, rather than any sort of impulsive move, right? The impulsive move that we're seeing here is to the downside, okay, and that these series of candles here look more like corrective, okay, for those Elliott wave aficionados here, okay. So there's a fair chance that we continue to the downside, especially if we're able to get this 30-minute candle to close below VWAP. But we have to be careful here because we've had some overlap of VWAPs, above and below, right? Ideally, we'd like to see a close below 69, okay, to really begin to see an potential acceleration to the downside. Because again, if I do a little bit of a measure here, okay, kind of a measured move, we would expect to see, if I take this swing and measure it to this swing, well, 68 is very much in the cards. And look how this Fibonacci extension is lining up with our average daily range. Okay. I don't know. That's not by accident, guys. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in this market. That we have the potential of heading down to the 68 level. Okay. Do we have some things in its way? Indeed. We need to get below some of these reference levels. But assuming that we do, I would say that 68 is very much in the cards, and maybe has the potential of making a 100% extension of this move here. Okay. All right. I think that is kind of what I'm looking at right now. So I would say that right now, my view of crude oil remains to the downside. I'd like to break out of this area of consolidation here before I kind of take. I'm going to be looking very intently on my initial balance range. If it does remain this kind of narrow, that's going to give me a really good reference to support whatever direction it ends up moving. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it that I have what I have for the crude oil market. Let's go ahead and move on to the gold market, not the gold market, but the equity market, and the equity of choice for, I think, most of everyone here in this room and other places is the Nasdaq. Okay, everybody loves some Nasdaq. Okay, so here we are. We again receive a very nice reversal off of this ADR and ASR low. Okay, right now we're back inside value, but let's take a peek before we go too much further. Let's go ahead and take a peek into what the daily is telling us. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and remove some of our indicators for now, and just just get a feel for what the market is trying to accomplish. Well, the market has of late, been trying to head lower. Now it's starting to be met with some buyers. No surprise there, right? We do see a significant buyer that kind of stepped into the market here around 18,645. Okay. So this may be an area where we see some additional buying that maybe even causes a 3-bar reversal of some sort. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what we're looking. Daily chart is looking, starting to look like it maybe wants to make a rotation here. Again, what's the major move right now? Well, I say that we have it. We made a few lower lows. Okay. But the impulse move that we've received has been to the upside, right? So again, if you are a Fibonacci person, right, you'll take a little retracement or a focus, and where are the areas? Sorry, I drew this to the wrong direction. Okay, let me redraw this. Okay, I'm kind of adding some Fibonacci here today, guys. I don't know why, but but if I look at this from a Fibonacci perspective, then this 61.8% is an important level. I don't have 78.6, but if the idea here is that if we're at a place where we could potentially see price reverse away from, okay, on the daily chart. Excuse me. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay. So we have a developing bullish engulfing candle met with some good amount of volume here on the 4-hour chart. We do have some headwinds here still that we need to get above, 19,000 specifically being one of them. And then maybe that will get us to a point where we get back up to this 233-day EMA, right? We've broken below it, right? So sentiment remains bearish, okay? But we're starting to see that, we're starting to see some price action that would indicate that maybe this might be an area where we could get a bounce, potentially get a bounce in the market, all right? Let's see. Moving on to the 30-minute chart, okay? 30-minute chart. Again, I'm gonna remove some of these lines. There's just too much for me. All right, so here we are, right at settlement. Okay, we've gotten a very nice reversal off of ASR, ADR also. Okay, we're below this EMA level, so it indicates that we're still very much kind of a little bit of a bearish tone to the market. So let me go ahead and add my levels here. Okay. So we're going to add my levels here to the right before we move on to any sort of discussion here. First thing I'm going to draw here, I don't see it here. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my fixed range volume profile. Okay. I'm going to locate the 630 bar from Thursday, drag that across to the 430 bar, and here I am inside value. Okay, so we had a really strong push. We've gotten inside and reached settlement price. So given what I'm seeing now, given that we got a push from below and close inside, I think there's a reasonable chance that we get to the tops here of value. All right. I don't see that we're getting a very strong reaction away from settlement price. So indicating that we could see some further upside in this market here. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of spot check some of the levels that I've captured, make sure that I got those in order. So I'm just going to mark in my value area highs and lows and kind of walk through and make sure that I've captured the correct levels here. So I have 19,099 is actually, yeah, 0.098 is now my average daily range high. Okay. Actually 175. So modify this a little bit. Okay. Okay. And then we have our average session range high. We have captured correctly at 19,038. We have a value area high at 19,020. Okay. Looks like 2050, not 2250. So modify that a little bit. Okay. 2050. And then what else? We have our point of control here coming in at 18,992. That seems to check out. Our settlement price at 18,963. Value area low coming in at 888.25. Okay, and then our average daily row we've already captured, and our demand. So I'll look in order here, guys. So as I was beginning to talk through some hypos here, we're at a level where we could potentially see a reversal in price. Okay, settlement. All right. If we do manage to get above, then I would say that the value area high, we're kind of in the middles, right? Well, that's kind of what we see in settlement and point of control. So not really excited by current location to participate in either direction, to be honest. If I'm looking to maybe potentially short this market, then I would say that this value area high will, and also average session range high would be a good location to look for something along those lines. If I'm more of a buyer, I would like to see maybe getting us to to revisit this value area low and hold value area low and see. And that's kind of, I guess, what I'm my initial take was, right? So we have this candle here that is kind of a doji like. It has coming down, not quite to value area low. So we'll see what the market bears here. Now, with that said, if we do get close below value, then I don't see any reason why we don't make our way back down to some of these levels below us. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw in our anchored VWAP, and I'm going to pick this low here. All right. So as long as price stays above, I'm bullish. If I start to get some price to close below it with some momentum, then I would say that I will probably move to a more bearish tone in this market. All right. So yeah, I think that's pretty much what I'm seeing here in the NASDAQ. Unless there's any questions on the levels I've captured, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I've captured these correctly on the spreadsheet, and we'll update that, indicate that maybe we did get some adjustments that were made here, right? We did adjust some value area highs and lows, our point of controls. So let's I'll go ahead and update this to indicate that we did, oops, not all of it. Okay, we did make some updates. All right, value area highs and lows. Okay, just indicating that we did make some adjustments. Okay. All right. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking at on the NASDAQ. We'll go ahead, and we're still, about 18 minutes or so away from the open. So right now we're kind of in the middle, so I'm not really super excited, although we do have a reference level that could offer us maybe a little bit of a push lower. I guess what's causing me a little bit of pause is the fact of the strength of this candle here, right? There's still a fair number of buyers in this market. If I'm more of the buyer, I would say that I'd like to see if maybe price can reverse off of VWAP and this anchored VWAP that I've drawn here, okay, before I participate to the long side. I feel like I'm a little bit against some levels that could cause price to reverse on me, okay? All right, moving on to the ES. So we're going to go ahead and open up that chart, okay? We're going to go ahead and remove some of our levels here and really kind of get a look and feel for what the market is trying to accomplish. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to the, you're welcome, Frizu. We're moving on to the daily chart. Again, similar to what we were seeing in, it looks actually quite like what we saw in the NASDAQ. We're seeing a fair amount of bullish orders. Okay, so volume delta tracks the volume of orders that are coming in, and right now the delta is indicating that we are currently getting more buyers than sellers of this market. Okay, which could translate into price. All right. So moving on to the 4-hour chart. So for our chart, again, we have this bullish engulfing candle that's been established here, or establishing. We're about 45 minutes away from this candle here closing, okay? And if it does close bullish, then that could be an indication. And certainly if we get above, let's say 55.40 or 55.60, well, that could provide us some evidence that the market wants to move higher, okay? We got, a relatively nice bullish engulfing candle coming in at an area of, I guess, prior demand here. Okay. All right. So let's the first order of business for me is to locate my fixed range volume profile tool and locate my, basically, I'm going to draw in my volume profile, not on the 4-hour chart, but on the 30-minute chart. Okay. And start to begin to capture some of these levels here. Okay. So here we are. We've gotten a close. All right. We've gotten a close above. All right. And now we're attempting to close above settlement. So this to me feels much more bullish, I would say, to some degree, more than what I was in. Again, I'm kind of looking at my channels here. We've already gotten a close above. So yeah, I'm seeing that maybe there is some more upside opportunities in the ES here. Okay. So let's open up our fixed range volume profile. Let's start off with the 930 candle, drag that across to the 430 candle. All right. And here we are. We are well inside our value range. I really don't see any reason why we cannot get up to 55.28 here in this market before we see any sort of significant, reversing of price. Now, if we do get above value, well, then we start opening up 55.60 and potentially beyond. Okay. So right now, given these series of candles, I don't, my tint is, or my tone, the tone seems to be bullish. Okay. Moving on, our ADR levels, we've reacted quite nicely off of ADR. Okay. Probably difficult because this was news driven, right? But we got some indication here with this break of candle, right? That was kind of the little indication that maybe the buyers were beginning to step in to this market. Maybe somebody got a peek of some of the news that was going to come in around the 8:30 time frame. Okay. So, and they were trying to disguise themselves as best they could without driving the market too away from them. Okay. All right. Let's see. we want to begin to capture our levels here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this in. Our data dependent, we adjust policy stance if we learn more. For guidance, don't have our ability to adjust. Okay. All right. So we got some Fed speak. Okay. So here are our levels that we're going to be tracking in this market. I'm going to go ahead and, kind of dial in our value area high, our value area low. These are my kind of prime areas. Okay. Point of control is more for me as a target than a location for entry. Okay. Although I do see people use point of control as an entry as well. Okay. In any case. All right. All right. So let's double check some of our levels. Let's go ahead and open up ASR here. So we have ASR high coming in at 55.56, which we captured. We have ADR coming in at what looks like 55.53. So we'll modify that. ADR 55.53. Okay. And then we have actually, sorry, it's a little bit even lower than that. 55.47.25. 55.47.25 is our average daily range high. Average daily range low, 54.78. Okay, close enough. We have value area high. We've already talked about. Settlement is already 55.12. Point of control coming in a little bit lower at 55.03. Okay, point of control. Our average session range low coming in at that same price. So it looks like we have the levels accurately reflected on the charts. Okay. So again, guys, what it appears to me is that the market wants to move potentially higher. Okay. Somebody with some effort here managed to create a relatively strong candle. But again, this is news driven. Now, whether that news driven is going to continue to drive price higher, we'll have to see. But I would say that if we're going to err on one side right now, right at this moment, I would say that we need to err on the side of the bulls. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw my anchored VWAP here, and that's going to be kind of my line in the sand to indicate what kind of trade I'm going to be looking for. Okay, not really super keen on participating at the highs of the highs on the buy side. I'm going to be waiting for some sort of retracement, maybe back to ADR or ASR or value area low, and see how I might participate, or maybe I might even get an opportunity that takes me back to this anchor VWAP that I've drawn here. Okay, so this is this area right here. Let's go ahead and draw it in as a box. This area right here is kind of where I'm kind of looking to participate. Okay, not really keen, and the market may leave without me, and that's okay. All right. But this is kind of the area that I'm looking at as an opportunity. This 5,500 level seems like a logical place to have an execution to the long side. Okay. All right. Let's see. Any questions on anything we said on the ES? Looks like there isn't. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the Dow, and we'll close off with the Dow. All right. And don't know. Oh, how did that happen? Okay. All right. Here we are. We're going to go ahead and remove some of our drawings. We're going to remove, I don't have any drawings, so I'm going to remove some of my indicators. I'm going to turn off this, and we're going to ask ourselves the question, what is the market trying to accomplish? Okay. Well, market continues to, similar to what we were seeing. Okay. We've gotten into a area where we've seen buyers in the past, and buyers have indeed shown up in this market. So, I think everybody was expecting that maybe if we got a close below this, that we could see a potential not quite a meltdown, but certainly a little bit of a sell-off, okay, back down to say 39,000, okay, 39,006. I think that's kind of what maybe people might have been maybe anticipating potentially. After seeing these series of candles, they were waiting for a close below 40,700, and that would kind of lead into maybe a move down to 39,006, maybe 1,000 point move. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, on the daily chart, we've gotten a kind of a double top here. I don't know if this is kind of it's starting to look like maybe a little bit of a reverse head and shoulder pattern. Okay, this being the head, this being the right shoulder, this maybe a developing left shoulder. I'm not so sure. Okay, but that's kind of what it's looking like to me. Okay, a kind of a reverse head and shoulder pattern. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, for our chart, we have our developing bullish engulfing candle that we've seen on all the equity markets. We have, this is our, I think 22, no, it's actually our 169. Okay, so we have the 169 EMA providing us maybe a zone or a reference level to support along in this and the Dow market. Okay, we have the 30-minute chart. Looking at that, we have a series of candles that have already, I would say that's maybe even a little bit more bullish than what we've been seeing in the other markets. We're already kind of tantalizingly close with closing above settlement price. And if we do close above settlement price, above VWAP, then maybe that is enough of a momentum to see that price will begin to rally higher. Okay. Let's go ahead and open up our volume tool here, and let's take a look and see where we are in reference to value. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Open it up here at the start of the session, close. So we are, again, like all the equity markets, well inside value. I think what I'm seeing here is that maybe we are, getting close to maybe closing above settlement price, which could provide the impetus for maybe a continuation move to the upside. Okay, we're about 5 minutes away from this market opening. I think it's going to be important, all right, to see whether or not we close above value. This could be an area where we could reach and reverse, okay, kind of like what we did here, reach and then reverse. So this 40,952 is an area to maybe keep an eye on to see if we start to see some candle formations that would indicate that we're looking maybe to potentially reverse away from. And then with that also being said, if we do get a close, okay, above value, value area high, that would be another area that would I maybe look for to participate. Right now, we still need to get above it. Okay, I'm kind of anticipating maybe if we do get a break, then I'd like to participate on on a bounce off of value. All right, so let's capture some of our levels here. Okay, that we're going to be tracking. So we have ADR high here at 41,077. Okay, 077. That's our value area high. Okay, we have our value area low coming in, and we've kind of got a nice little reversal away from it. Okay, at 40,665. 40,665 is our this is not value area low by the way. This is average daily range high. Sorry, average daily range high. Okay, then we have our average daily range low. I think this is average daily range low. Average daily range low. Okay, and then we have value area high coming in at 40,954. That's value area high. We have our point of control coming in at what is that? 40,881. 40,881 is our point of control. We have settlement price coming in at 40,829. 29 is our settlement. Okay, and then we have we've already captured average daily range low. We have a value area low coming in at what's that level there? 40,659. Pretty close to our average daily range low. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up our average session ranges. This is going to adjust here in a couple of minutes, so I'm going to hold off on that aspect. So again, what to make of this market? Well, it looks like the market wants to head higher. Here, I'm going to be waiting to see what the initial balance range provides me, but it does appear that the market wants to move higher. Now, do we have some areas that could potentially cause price to reverse? No doubt. We have the well, in this case, the bottom of the average session range, and then we also have value area high that could also be resistant. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see how this market opens here in the next minute. All right, we've got our levels. We're ready to go. And then like I said, this average session range will probably adjust on me. So that's kind of why I'm kind of hesitant to add it at the moment. Okay, so we have 40,960 or 41,000. Okay, it's going to be an interesting level for me to see if that indeed ends up being resistant. Okay. If we do get above that, then I would say that we open the door to maybe getting to some yesterday's average session ranges highs, certainly to average daily range high. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw in my anchored VWAP here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw it at the start of this candle here. So as long as price can stay above that, then I would kind of err on the side of the bulls. Otherwise, yeah, here's the open of the market. See how we got some new levels here. That's so we're going to go ahead and capture those now. All right, we have 40,000. Okay, 695. Okay, that is our average session range low. Okay. And average session range high is coming in between here. So on average, say 41,059 is our average session range high here. Okay. All right. Now I'm complete. I'm whole. So again, as long as I stay above this this opening range, or sorry, this anchor VWAP, I'm kind of inclined to participate to the upside in this market. Okay. I do understand that I am coming up on some levels that could cause price to reverse. So I may look to maybe wait for that to happen. I'm certainly going to wait to see if what this initial balance provides me, if I do get a break of initial balance one way or the other. Okay, so those are all kind of the levels here that we're tracking today. All right. With that said, guys, for those remaining folks, want to wish them a very successful trading day. Again, remind everyone that today is indeed Friday. Okay, if we've had a good week, we don't want to give our profits back to the man, so to speak, on Fridays, right? We want to be cautious. And we want to, participate in the markets, but make sure that we preserve. It's Capital Preservation Fridays, I guess is the term that I want to use here. Okay, there's no need to do anything too extraordinary in this market. Wait for your levels. Make sure that these levels are met, and then follow your processes and your edges that you have in the markets. Don't preempt them from happening. Wait for confirmation before you participate. Okay, may lose a couple of ticks here and there profit wise, but you gain in mental capital immensely. All right. So let's want to wish everyone a very successful session. Trade well, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys. So again, no group coaching this afternoon. Today is Family Friday. Okay, so no group coaching later this afternoon. I will be in Power Hour today to try my hand at figuring out a way to be profitable in the last hour of trade with only having the reverse button. Okay, we'll see how I fare there, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Again, don't be shy with the likes. Don't be shy with the comments as you see these posts in various areas in social media. And yeah, have an excellent trading day, guys, and we'll talk soon.